Welcome back, class 9 bio to the online bio classes. We had already started chapter 2 tissues. Till now it's not finished. Only plant tissues we have completed. Now today we are going to start with the animal tissues. You know that there are 4 different types of animal tissues. What are they? Number 1, epithelial tissue, also known as covering tissue. Second one is connective tissue. It is also known as supporting tissue. Why? Because it supports different parts of the body. Third one is muscular tissue, also known as contractile tissue. Why it is called contractile? Because muscle cells have the unique characteristics of contraction. That is, they are contractile. They can contract and relax. And the last one is nervous tissue, number 4. It is also called conducting tissue because the nerve cells are the one which conduct impulses. Impulses means the message that travels along a nerve cell in the form of electrical disturbance is called impulse. So we have to study about all the 4 different types of animal tissues in detail. This one shows the classification of animal tissue. We can further classify them into different types, like muscular tissues are further classified into 3 types. So if you want to continue with this table, we'll just rub this one and we can write it. Okay? Wait, I'll show you after completing these characteristics. Epithelial tissue or the covering tissue has certain characteristics. What are they? Characteristics means the important properties of this muscle. Number 1, it covers the whole body surface. Means externally the entire body surface is covered by which tissue? If it is just epithelial tissue. That's why the name is covering tissue. Number 2, it is specialized to form the covering or lining. Lining means if any organ is there inside, it is lined by which tissue? It is the epithelial tissue because it is present in almost the entire organs of the body, covering and lining all the body parts. So that is why it has different types of functions. Like if it is there in the, suppose it is there in the kidneys, then its function will be, it helps in excretion. If it is there in the lungs, its function will be, like what is the function of lungs? It will help in exchange of gases. So similarly, different types of functions of epithelial tissue will be there because they are present in different organs of the body of different parts. So different organs carry out different functions. So this epithelial tissue also help in carrying out those functions. Then the third one is internal and external body surface. The cells which makes this tissue, they are very close to each other and there is no intercellular substance. The intercellular substance is called matrix between them. So there may not be any gap between them. The substance or the matrix may not be present between them. And the fourth point, they are attached to the underlying tissues, like all these are present underlying on tissue there. This one is called basement membrane. What is it called? Basement membrane. And this basement membrane, it is made up of white non-elastic collagen fiber. So the basement membrane means just like when a building is made, first of all the basement should be there. Basement is made strong and after that we can construct different stories of the building. So basement is the place where all the cells of epithelial tissue will lie, one on top of the other. Then the last point, it has the power of regeneration. That is, the cells of epithelial tissue can regenerate because it is present on the external body surface and it is frequently lost. So new cells are constantly produced and they replace the old and the dead cells. That's why they have the regeneration capacity. One more point is there, that is, from where they are produced, they have 3 types of origin. Means they can be produced from ectoderm, endoderm or from the mesoderm. All 3 types of origin is there. Now, just now I have told you that if you want, we can further complete this chart by drawing some more points. What are they? Let's see whether we can cover up all, but it's not possible to make in one chart only. But still the important one we can do, like epithelial tissue. We can further classify them into different types of epithelial tissue, like simple epithelial tissue and compound epithelial tissue. Okay? So number A, simple epithelial tissue. Number B, compound epithelial tissue. Whatever is there in your book, that much only, not excess. Then connective tissue is further classified into connective tissue proper. Then areolar connective tissue. Then muscular tissue is further classified into three types. What are they? You know the names? The names of three different types of muscular tissue. They are striated muscles, unstriated muscles, and cardiac muscles. Striated, unstriated, and cardiac. Okay. Similarly, nervous tissue, there is no types, only one type is there, that is nerve cells, and it is present in brain, in spinal cord, and rest all parts of the body. Connective tissue, you can further write the fluid connective tissue is there, like blood and lymph is there. So this one will be very big. It's impossible to write it here. Okay. So now in the next topic which we will do is the functions of epithelial tissue. Already we have done the important characteristics. The functions of epithelial tissue, as I told you, because it is present in different parts of the body, so it has different functions. In your book also it is mentioned, like first one is protection. Because it is covering or lining the external body surface, so it helps to give protection to the underlying tissues and organs of the body. Because it is present in the lungs, so it helps in the exchange of gases. Because it is lining the alveolus, that is the air sac which is present in the lungs, and it is the functional unit of structural and functional unit of lungs. So because the function of lungs is exchange of gases, so if epithelial tissue is present there, it will help in the process of exchange of gases. If it is there in the stomach and intestine, lining of particularly small intestine, it will help in the absorption of nutrients, like whatever food we eat and the food is digested, it turns into that digested food turns into glucose, and that glucose is absorbed through the walls of a small intestine. So absorption is also one of the function, protection, excretion, respiration. Apart from that, it helps in pigmentation. Pigmentation means it gives color to the skin because it is associated coloration to the area. Secretion also, regeneration also, because if any part of the body is lost, it will be because it has the capacity of the regeneration. The cells of epithelial tissue can regenerate constantly to replace the lost and damaged parts. And if it is present in the sense organs like eyes, ears, nose, it will help in sensory perception also. Means it can receive different types of stimuli. Okay. Now next we have to do is classification of epithelial tissue. Okay. Okay. Now look at the board. Classification of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is broadly classified into two types. What are they? Simple and compound. How they are classified? On the basis of the number of layer of cells which are present in the tissue. If only one cell thick, like if only one layer of cells are present, such epithelial tissue is called simple tissue. Understood? But if more than two layers of cells are present, then such epithelial tissues are called compound epithelial tissue. So it's clear now that simple epithelial tissue means made up of one layer of cells, and compound epithelial tissue are the one which is made up of more than two layers of cells. Now simple epithelial tissue are further classified into 6 types. What are they? Squamous, columnar, cuboidal, ciliated, glandular, sensory. According to the shape of their cells or according to the functions they perform, simple epithelial tissues are of 6 different types. So one by one we have to study each one of them. Like first one is squamous epithelial tissue. It is made up of thin flat plate-like cells. As you can see in the diagram, hexagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagonal shaped cells. This is the nucleus present in the. So these cells are touching each other without any gap or intercellular space between them. And you can see the basement membrane is present here. This lining is the basement membrane on which the cells of epithelial tissue are present. This one shows the nucleus, the circle is the nucleus, and this one is the cytoplasm. Okay. Then second one is, where are such type of squamous epithelial cells present? They are also called the tiles epithelial tissue. Why? Because they appear like mosaics or tiles, as they are fitted closely together, just like tiles they are fitted. So they are also called pavement epithelial tissue. They are present in the alveolar lining. Now from here only you can understand what is the function. Because they are present in the alveolar means it is a part of lungs, alveolus. So in the internal lining of the air sac or the alveolus it is present. and the function of alveolus is exchange of gases. So it will help in exchange of gases, squamous epithelial tissue. Number 2, it is found in the lining of ducts of blood vessels. Blood vessels means arteries, veins and capillaries. So what is the function of the blood vessels? To carry the blood from one place to the other. It is found in the inner lining of chambers of heart. How many heart chambers are there? Like we have the auricles, left auricle, right auricle, ventricles, right auricle and right ventricle, left and right ventricles. So 4 chambers of the heart are there. In that internal lining also it is present. It is found in the capsule of nephron. What is nephron? Nephron is the part of kidney. So because it is present in the kidney, so it will help in the process of excretion also. It will help in respiration also. So these are the functions. In your book already it is given. The functions are protection because it is present in the like thin plates. Number 2, it helps in Bowman's capsulity there, so it helps in filtration of blood. And you know the function of that Bowman's capsule or the kidney is to filter the blood and help in the formation of urine, because it will remove all the waste from our blood. Okay. So now next we have to study is simple columnar epithelial tissue. This one, second one. First one is completed. The diagram also, where it is present and what is the structure. Columnar. Column means pillar. Okay. So next we have to study the diagram also. I will rub it once. Okay. Now look at the book. Second one, number B, simple columnar epithelial tissue. First look at the diagram. As the name indicates, column means pillars. Just like in the buildings we have the pillars or the columns. So cells are tall like pillars. You can see pillar-like cells are present. And where they are present, cells occurs in one layer only, because all are simple. So this point you can write to all. That cells occurs in one layer on basement membrane. This one you can see, this is the basement membrane on which all the cells are present. And number 2, the second point, cells are elongated. Elongated means becoming long. That is called elongated. Cells becoming very long, like this, pillar-like. Cells are elongated and column shaped. Column means pillar shaped. Then next one is nucleus are elongated. You can see that I have not drawn the nucleus like this, spherical. I have drawn the nucleus in this way. Long, elongated. The meaning of elongated is length is increased. They become flat, elongated and located near the base of the cells. So here I have not drawn in the middle. I have drawn the nucleus towards the base. Base means downward. So all the nucleus which are elongated, they are present where? Downward, towards the base of the cells. And the next one is, where are they found? They forms the lining of stomach, intestine, gallbladder and digestive glands of the stomach, intestine and pancreas. Means mostly they are concerned with, or they are localized in the digestive system only. No? Now what is the function? Because they form the lining of stomach and intestine, and you know the function of stomach and intestine, digestion and absorption of food. So first function, absorption by cells lining intestine, because intestine is the organ which helps to absorb the digested food materials. So absorption, from here only you can get that. If you know that where they are located, you can know the functions also. The second one, secretion of mucus by goblet cells. These are the mucus which is produced, and the cells are called goblet cells, and mucus is required in our body for different types of functions. Now this one you can see the thread-like structures I have drawn. They are called the microvilli. Then mucus here filled inside this bag-like structure. Cytoplasm. This is the nucleus, you know. Then the last one is the basement membrane. So next one we have to study is simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. Okay. Okay. Next you can see simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. As you can see the diagram here, this is the basement membrane, this is the nucleus which is round or spherical in shape, not elongated like the previous one. And this one is the cytoplasm. And the cells are almost square or cuboidal. Cuboidal, you know, in mathematics the cuboidal shape is there. So the cells are either square or cuboidal, roughly cuboidal or spherical in shape, square in shape. And the nucleus is spherical and located or present almost in the center of the cell, almost in the middle of the cell. The second point, third one, where it is found? It is found in the glands and duct of gland. Duct means the tubes. What is the meaning of duct? Duct means tubes. Like if salivary gland is there, the one which produces saliva, the tube through which the saliva secretion or the saliva comes in our mouth, that is called salivary gland. Similarly, the tear which is produced from lacrimal gland also has the lacrimal duct. So each and every gland has a tube or a duct. It is called DUCT, ducts of glands, in the lining of kidney tubules, PCT and DCT. PCT stands for proximal convoluted tubule and DCT stands for distal convoluted tubule. Both of them are parts of nephron or the uriniferous tubule. Okay. Then it is found in the germinal epithelium. Germinal means the name of the epithelial tissue which covers the lining of like our testes and ovary. They are called the gonads also. So if any epithelial tissue is lining internally the testes or the ovary, they are called germinal epithelial tissue. And because they are present in the gonads, that is testes and ovary, these two organs produces the gametes. So one function of this simple cuboidal epithelial tissue is it helps in formation of gametes, because gametes are produced from testes and ovary. Testis produces the male gamete, that is sperm cell, and ovary produces the female gamete, that is egg cell. So it is from this epithelial tissue only that the gametes are produced, and because it is present in the kidney tubules also like PCT and DCT, the function of PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule, it helps in the reabsorption. Okay, reabsorption and excretion, because both of them are associated with the process of excretion. So excretion you can learn. Excretion means removal of waste from the body, and they help in the secretion of glands, like if the glands, because they are present in the ducts of gland as well as in the glands. So glands function, you know, different types of glands secrete different types of substances. Example I told you, if salivary gland is present, it produces saliva. If we have the salivary, this one what we say, sweat gland, it will produce the sweat. So different types of glands will pour different types of secretions, and it is the simple cuboidal epithelial tissue which are present. So location is very important. You should know the location of each of these different types of epithelial tissue, and if you know the location, the functions will automatically come to your mind, because you know you can relate those locations with the functions which the organs perform. Okay, one example I said, germinal epithelium. What is the meaning of germinal epithelium? Epithelial tissue which lines or covers the gonads, that is testis and ovary. They are called germinal epithelial tissue. So now next one we have to do is after this simple ciliated epithelial tissue. Okay, now look, ciliated columnar epithelial tissue. The diagram is same like that previous one, but what we have to do is simply we have to add, like this is the cell, basement membrane is there. At one end we have to produce cilia like this. Okay, cilia will be there. So diagram is almost same like the previous one. So ciliated columnar, simple ciliated epithelial tissue, because it is simple tissue made up of single layer. So this one you can write in all. Wherever simple epithelial tissue is there, this single layer you can write. With cilia on its free surface. What is the meaning of free surface? There are two surfaces. This one is free, the other one is fixed or attached to the basement membrane. This one is attached. So this one is only called free. So cilia is present only in this surface, upper surface. Okay, like this, if I draw one more cell here, it is this surface which is free, and here the cilia are present. They are the cilia. Okay. Okay, because cilia is present, they are called ciliated epithelial tissue. That one. Now next, where they are found, that one you have to learn. Usually it is of two types. What are they? Either cuboidal or columnar cells will be there. Means cells will be either cuboidal, this one, or column-like. So cuboidal, if I make like this also, it can be there. Okay, and here the cilia can be present, or it can be columnar like this. So simple ciliated cuboidal epithelial tissue, it is found in some parts of the nephron where it is present. Nephron, you know, it is the structural and functional unit of our excretory system, that is the kidney. Then next one is ciliated columnar epithelial tissue. If the cells are ciliate, column-like and containing the cilia at its free end, they are called ciliated columnar epithelial tissue. They are found in the air passage, means we can also write respiratory passage, means it is present in the nose, in the trachea or the windpipe. And what is the function of this type of ciliated epithelial tissue? Number one, cilia which is present, it will beat in a rhythmic manner. The cilia helps in the movement of suspended particles in the urine. If some particles are suspended, they will move with the help of cilia in one direction. Number 2, the rhythmic movement of cilia, it causes the movement of mucus, the mucus which is produced by the goblet cells, and it helps in the movement of ovum into the uterus. You know that the eggs which are released from the ovary, they move into the uterus, and it is the cilia which will help to bring about this movement. Now we have the simple glandular tissue and the sensory epithelial tissue. Two more tissues are left. Okay, the last one, simple glandular epithelial tissue, and that side simple sensory epithelial tissue. All simple epithelial tissues is completed. You can see here. In simple glandular epithelial tissue, the cells are columnar cells, and they are modified to secrete some substances. Which substances? That is, some secretions in the form of saliva or in the form of sweat, as depending on the type of gland it is. Now, it is of two types. Simple glandular epithelial tissue is of two types, unicellular and multicellular. Uni means, you know, single cell. So formed of single cell unicellular glands, they secrete mucus, and such cells which secrete mucus, they are called goblet cells. Where are they found? They are found in the mucus or mucosa means the name of the slimy layer present in the stomach, intestine and rectum. Rectum, you know, part of the digestive system before anus. Then multicellular glands, they are formed of many cells. Example, sweat gland, salivary gland. So next one or the last one in the types of simple tissue, epithelial tissue, is simple sensory epithelial tissue, and it is modified columnar cells with the sensory cells which are present at the free end. Where are they found? They are found in the nasal epithelium. Nasal epithelium means in the nose, the internal lining, that is called cnidarian membrane. In the retina of the eye, which receives the light rays, and the membranous labyrinth. Membranous labyrinth is the other name given to the internal ear. Our ear is divided into three parts: external, middle and internal. Now what is the function of this simple sensory epithelium? It helps to receive the stimuli and pass it to the nervous system. Like whatever we see from our eyes, we give it to the nervous system, that is to the brain, so that we can come to know. So today this much only. Next we will start with types of compound epithelial tissue, and then connective tissue and others are also left. Okay. So once you have watched the video, just try to write your name in the comments, and as homework what you can do is, you can write the different types of, explain the different types of simple epithelial tissue with the help of diagram, location and functions. Okay.